I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet.
Welcome to the Moose and Vu Sesh. It's the Black Moose.
And it's Vu. We're giving hope in a different dose.
Boom.
Welcome out. Who we got here for our guests here today?
Kingdom Hustle.
Yeah, that's them. Who we have? We have Izzy Safali over there.
We have
And
Benz.
Benz. I can't pronounce his last name because I'm illiterate.
Just remember to speak into the mic because we
Yeah,
want to hear your
guys.
lovely voices.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
As
so,
you do.
So we're live now, man. So let's do it. All right.
How we doing? What's how's our evening been? What's the day been like?
It's been good.
Been grinding.
Good. Been grinding. We've been working. And now we're here having a sesh with you guys.
Yeah, it's the only time where you get high and sober at the same time.
All right, man. Let's introduce you guys properly here. You know, let's tell us a bit about yourself. Obviously, you're both Polynesians here. I look like a Polynesian, but I'm not.
Likewise.
Easy, man. Give us a bit about your background, man.
Yeah. My name's Israel. not obvious.
Hi, Israel.
I'm
Hi.
21, Samoan descent. Yeah, man, I was born in New Zealand, came to Australia when I was 6. Grew up in Australia, so I call myself an Aussie.
Yeah, what are you?
When
then,
All Blacks
Vince?
are playing. And then,
Oh, so you jump on the bandwagon. One of those guys, huh? One of those guys.
What is footy?
Hey, what is footy these days? It's back on tonight, anyways. But yeah, I'm from the area of Mount Jewett, so my background, I'm Samoan as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, just doing it hard and just grew up in Sydney. I was born in New Zealand, but called Sydney Mount Jewett my home, and here I am tonight out in Fairfield, ripping it out for the boys out in Fairfield.
So we want to know a bit about Kingdom Hustle. What's Kingdom Hustle about?
I guess I'll give that to Izzy because he originally.
Do apologise for the mic booms. Yeah. These are very solid mics, and unfortunately the booms can't. Yeah.
Yep,
Hey, have it roll.
yeah, so Kingdom Hustle is a group of men that come together. We go on the streets, we evangelise we go and evangelise, and we're just on the streets giving hope to people who are lost. And man, pretty much that's what it is all about, man. It's just getting on the streets, evangelising and being bold for Jesus, man. So don't really see that on the streets, don't really see that often, but man, it's that's what Kingdom Hustle is all about. It's getting on the streets and hustling for the Lord. So
You're doing what they did in the Bible.
that's right, man. All biblical. So we've got to get out there and spread the word out there. So yeah, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm a member of Kingdom Hustle as well.
Nice.
Huh? No. Anyway, I just want to put it out there.
Yeah, come on.
In case you guys see me on the streets. Anyway, getting back to sharing the love of Christ out there. Getting the word out there on the streets. Do you find is there any difficult times when it's hard to go do that? Like, just by yourself putting yourself out there. Yeah, because some people are like stage fright, some people are, low self-esteem.
Or even there's some people that go, oh man,
confidence.
how are they going to react or respond to the message that I'm bringing? I mean, having that fear of rejection.
Does that ever cross your mind?
100%, man. 100%. That was like 100%. That's why, like, man, I remember when I first got saved, like a few years ago, man. Like, Pastor Tony put me on a spot, man, just to get out just to grab the mic and start preaching.
Yeah.
I was terrified, man. I was like literally like gonna run away. This guy's just like easy, just jump on the mic, start preaching the gospel. I had no idea. As soon as I grabbed the mic, just started preaching, and then just became doing it again and again.
So you got to push.
And so you just got to have to do it numerous times to get that fear out. But yeah, 100%. Like as you said, like we still get that. I guess that fear within inside of us.
So why I'm asking you this is, there are a lot of people that are in churches but they're scared
Yeah.
to do these things, man. Well, what would what are some things that you can say that can help them?
First of all, prayer, man. I guess you got to pray for boldness, man.
I think it all comes back down to having that prideful spirit as well, because a lot of us, especially coming, getting exposed, and God and Jesus Christ saving us from our sin, and understanding that Jesus Christ saved us from our history and from what we came from, and then understanding that you're not just to hide this treasure, but it needs to come out now.
Yeah.
I heard this quote. The devil's not afraid about the Jesus that's in you, but he's afraid of the Jesus that comes out of you.
Yeah.
And a lot of us hide it.
Yeah.
And that's what Kingdom Hustle's
Ought
all
that
about.
not to compel you to do something?
Or they don't push themselves, or it's either they don't push themselves, or they don't encourage it in their churches, or it's wait for the next guy. I'll wait for this guy to do it, and then I'll jump.
Yeah.
And then we'll follow suit.
Just consumed in oneself, right?
100%, and I think that's what makes it beautiful with Kingdom Hustle is it's a bunch of boys. We all got histories, but what makes us unique and what brings us together is Jesus Christ, and coming out of our comfort zone and putting the pride behind us, and understanding that it's man, God by His grace He saved us, and this is what we're all about. I'm not to hide this treasure, but to expose this cure to sin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Who are you reaching out to?
Well, we reach out to everyone, from the so-called perfect to the least, the guy that's on the gutter,
Yeah.
the one that's in between, that's religious as well, the ones that say I love God, but their hearts are so far away from it, like what the Bible said. They proclaim Jesus out of their lips, but their hearts are so far away from it, and that's two different sides.
Yeah. You mentioned religion. Did you guys grow up in a religious background?
Yeah.
How was that like for you, Izzy?
No, it was, you know what? I grew up, absolutely, man. I grew up in religion. I grew up in a Christian home. Man, went to church my whole life. You're getting forced to get up for church, which was the norms for a Polynesian family.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I guess going to church every Sunday was good, to be honest. What made me drift away was just my sin, man. To be honest, I knew the truth, but I kept drifting away. And then I became religious.
Yeah.
Right? I started going.
What does that mean?
So, man, it was like living Monday to Friday, as a sinner, and then rocking up on a Sunday morning, and you just it's all an act. You're not all there, man. You know what I mean? You're not there for Christ. You're there for the wrong motives. You're not there. Your heart's just not there. You know what I mean? So for me, that was religion. Was like living like the devil from Monday to Saturday, and then rocking up to church, being religious, man, having no relationship with Jesus Christ.
So it was just a routine.
It was just a routine, bro. That's what it was, man.
Did, but
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was like a routine, man. Like you're getting up on a Sunday morning, you have to go tick the box. It's like going in the church and bunning in, bunning out. It was like work, you know what I mean? Like that's how it felt for me. Like there was nothing wrong with the church. I feel it was just me at that stage. But I know different kind of cases, different kind of religions out there, different with what I've heard before with different kind of, Polynesians.
Was it encouraged for you to get out of that cycle? Did you were you challenged with that mindset that you had? Were there other people who shared the same things? Or if they're living like that, then I might as well, man. What other hope there is? If they're doing okay, then I got some doing okay.
That's right, man. I was a sheep, man. I was just following everyone, I was following whoever was, in church doing the same thing, man. I was following them, bro. So for me, I just came to a place where I was really vulnerable, man, to be honest. I was like, man, I need to get out. I really need to go back to Jesus. But where am I going to find Jesus? Like, for me, I had to literally come to a place where I had to realize, like, man, I'm actually being religious, bro. I'm living in religion. I'm going to church every Sunday. Monday, Friday suck. I'm living in depression, bro. Like, that was the norms, you know what I mean? Until I came to the Potter's house. So, but,
That's actually pretty good when you just wake up to yourself to know that, man, I'm religious and I'm going nowhere, and it's not going to go well for me at the end of the day. That's one good move, as opposed to this is the norm, I'm just living it, and I'm just going to live the rest of my life, you know, believing a lie. What about yourself, Benz?
Yeah, I think because I grew up in church as well, but I grew up as a Mormon.
Yeah, okay.
And so, like for me, it was different.
Yeah.
I didn't know what religion. I thought religion was good at the time.
Yeah.
You know, but when I looked at religion or I looked at church, I think what scarred me was the hypocrisy that came out of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't know that I was religious.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the same old, same. You know, it's every
So-
Sunday and that's it.
So you saying hypocrisy? What kind of hypocrisy were you?
Well, I
Elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Like it was more like I would go to church and I would see other people, or I would see numerous people in the church doing what is not supposed to be done. You know,
What is not Christian?
what is not godly like. You know, because it's Christian and God is, you know, whatever church you're from, we got a God aspect. You
Yeah,
know, there's
that's
a center point, and that's God, regardless of what religion it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when I grew up, I was just looking at others and trying to follow somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I was following, it was like it didn't make sense.
So with both you guys, at that point in your life, you had no relationship with God whatsoever.
Nah, 100% no way.
Man.
So
No
it was
way.
all religious, nothing really relational.
No, I didn't know how to get. I didn't have a clue on how to get to heaven.
You know, because you know, a lot of times when you're out there on the streets evangelizing, you know, you come across these people, right?
Yeah.
And you go, you know, hey brother, how you going? You know, they're standing there with a cigarette in their hand, you know, a 6-pack of Jim Beam, and you go, hey man, do you know Jesus? Yeah, I go to church every Sunday.
No, do you know Jesus? Yeah, I got to.
You know, and there's numerous times where we come across these kind of people, right?
Church and Jesus become one thing, but it's actually not the church that saves us. You know,
Yeah.
it's Jesus that does it. You know.
And it's massive, man. Like, I feel like what I've realised when I came to Protestant, and I've seen the difference, and I've talked to numerous of my mates who've grown up in a religious church, and they're still doing the same old things, or some have left this faith. Like I've seen islanders turning into Muslims and stuff like that. I think the question that I was asking myself, like, why would that happen? You know, why would we see these guys, and why would that happen? You know, and going back to it was like culture coming in with church, mixing together, was just like that's what happens. It's like the culture was more glorified than God.
Because it's
It's been
you
infiltrated in the church.
yeah, you actually see that.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of men and women, they they really want a relationship with God, but yet these cultural things come and play. It puts them off. It turns them off.
100%.
Contaminate.
Yeah.
100%.
And in saying that, you know, how did you, you know, or from your experience, how did you, Benz, like, find your way out of that?
How'd you get out of the cycle?
Yeah.
I think it wasn't. I just left altogether completely. Like it just got to the point where I was scarred, and I just said, "Church is not for me. This religious life, I can't live a double life."
So instead, you went and joined the gang.
So I just been enjoying the game. it's
hard.
You know what I mean? It's either be one or the other, or you can't live both lives. Like you know, and it's crazy because that's where all the gang started from, was in church.
Wow.
And it was it's quite funny and weird, but it's that's where it all started, because we all started in church and then we all went to school together and
Holy
then,
gang.
yeah, put
Holy
a gang
rollers.
together and just clicked together and after school, and then that's where it all started. And I think that's when we didn't really vocalize it together, but it came to a point where
We're a gang.
we're a gang.
It's crazy. Church turning into a social club and then banding up together as the boys.
The next
Church
thing you
ain't
know,
helping me.
Yeah, from church to criminals. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but you had to I had to make like that decision.
yeah.
To make a fine line decision. I'm not gonna be this hoodlum and be a churchy at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and it was and that's what I just chose. I said,
Yeah.
when I got to an age where I can do whatever I want, I just
how old was that? I'm just asking this because I spoke to other guys and a lot of the turning point is when you're about 14, 15.
yeah, 100%.
Because that's when I went off the rails too.
Yeah. Well, my turning point when I hit adulthood, 14. So
Adult man.
A bit too much information there.
14, 100%.
14, is that like 1-4?
and that's what it was. There was no religious after that. It wasn't being religious. It was just completely just going against everything.
So, life that you live now, how does it compare today with youngins now? Them, growing up in church, and I've even spoken to some, their parents, their dad is a minister. Yeah, okay, all right, I'll go to church, and then they're gonna go away and just do these sick, and just petty crimes. How does it compare to how you grew up and you grew up today? I mean, not you grew up before with the gangs and all that stuff, and how does it compare today with today's generation?
I reckon that would be more so Israel. I reckon with that sort of, because I'm not sure. Hey, like with the young youths back then, it would be you rock up to church as a youth. When I remember was rock up to church as a youth, and that's all it was.
How about all this drill music happening around that's in the Polynesian community that's causing them to fight and causing them to cause harm to each other
Because of a postcode.
Yeah, because of a postcode.
Yeah. Were there any like postcode battles back in the day, Benz?
Yeah,
100%.
Were there?
100%.
Man,
Even like I think that's where it all started for me. Was in church. It wasn't It wasn't postcode.
In
but
church.
yeah.
Did you guys hear that?
Did
Did you guys hear that? In church.
It was witnessing Samoan versus Tonga back then.
yeah.
The Bloods and the Crips.
I remember that. Yeah.
And it was still a big factor with the postcode where you came from, but there was several different things that you rep. It was the postcode, your barcode, your Bloods and the Crips, what nash you are,
Your serial number.
Barcode. What's a barcode? I've never
The one at the back of your neck. Haven't you seen it?
No, man.
All the
no,
above,
no.
you know?
Wow.
and that's
far out.
and that's what
Can
it
you
was.
scan yourself at Woolies as well? you get flybys.
Bought with a price.
That's it. But that was all at church. That was all at church for me.
Wow,
So
that is so interesting. Where where these things escalate from. Where just as you boy, young boys just hanging around, and then all of a sudden, man, it turns out to this full-fledged area code of violence. That's where I can't get my head around.
I know.
Because man, why you and it's not that. I hear it's like cousin on cousin, because they're from different postcodes. How do you function at a family get together? That's what I want to know.
Izzy, you can go first, eh?
I'm not sure, man. Like I know from experience. I remember growing up in church. We had two of my mates, but they were both cousins, and they had to go at the back of the church, man. And I was thinking, like, man, these guys are gonna meet up for Christmas or something like that. It's gonna be awkward. But
I can't wait for the Christmas party.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like, but I guess it's
The crackers on New Mini.
It's a prideful thing, man, and I think for Islanders, that's something that we struggle with. It's it's being prideful, and that's something that definitely that needs to be solved out, man. Because it always brings dissensions within with both families, But
And Izzy, I've known you for a couple of years now. You're a good friend of mine. I've met your family. I know your family actually pretty well. And I, there are families out there that are Polynesians, but your family's so different. Because I go there, man. They're just like a normal family. They worship God. They, I don't see any of this. How can I put it? Underlying issues.
yeah,
That you guys are talking about. You know, and yeah, I don't see none of that. You know, but it does happen, right?
It does happen.
You know?
Yeah, and it happens like it's the norms now, man. Like, and as I said before, like talking to my cousins, talking to my mates about these issues, man, it's happening. But I guess it all comes back to, as I said before, like with the culture, like infiltrating the church, like it's massive, bro. Because like and there's nothing wrong with the culture. Like for us, like I love my culture, you know what I mean.
yeah,
but
yeah.
when it comes,
There's nothing
when
wrong
you
with
mix it
culture.
with God,
Yeah.
man, that's when problems start rising because
Yes.
money talks and stuff like that.
Comes
Yeah.
contaminated.
100%, man. Things start coming up light up. That's when I think the issues lay up,
Yeah.
man. That's when.
And also upon this, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, okay. There's no perfect church.
Yeah.
Straight, okay. So I don't go to a perfect church. If I was perfect and I go into a church, I'd probably wreck it.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it sounds as if it was encouraged. Not so much as, okay, I encourage you to make gangs, but overlooked. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just speculating. Okay, elders overlooked it. They didn't want to come across this issue because they didn't want to get rejected or offended. What are your thoughts based upon that?
Yeah, I think growing up and even just seeing people in church or their parents, anyways,
Yeah.
they're oblivious to it, 100%. They know what's going on, but they keep a blind eye and they just let their kids do what they need to do. And it's quite sad, but it's not. It's like the parents still say something.
Is that just to keep face?
It is. It's to keep face, and it's also to.
Let's go on that pride issue. That you
It's a
said.
pride issue, 100%. It's a pride issue, and like if my son was to have a go with your son,
Yeah.
I don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? If this church or if this kid from another church or if anything, not even like even outside of church, if I know that my son's having a go or if I'm having to have a go with my cousin's son
yeah.
or my best friend's son, and they're crossing paths, I don't want to know about it. Yeah.
So they wouldn't want to solve the problem because they might tarnish their name.
Yeah.
It's like a hospital. The church is like a hospital for the broken.
Well, what kind
Get
of
it-
hospital? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you go into an hospital, for example. I got a broken leg. They're going to encourage, just beating upon the leg, beating upon the leg.
Just cutting the wounds more, widening it up a bit more. So, but it's a, I guess, like even just bringing it out, it's a hard pill to swallow for some people because it's like, man, like this guy's talking real talk, and that's what it's all about. It's about real talk.
This is what this show's about.
100%.
This sesh is about, man,
Yeah.
real talk, man.
It's some, and
we're not afraid to put it out
No.
there. You know?
It's the truth, man. And I feel like the Polynesian community needs to hear this because you know what, man, we've come across people like this on the streets, right? We've come across like, man, what happened to you, bro? And these young fellas, man, they're like, man, I've turned to gigs, I've turned to this because I left church. I said, well, why'd you leave church? He goes, money, bro. It's people, gossip, all this other stuff, bro.
Money.
And so, like, money is like the biggest issue. I feel like.
So tell us a bit more about that, man.
Yeah, so like, man, like, from my experience, man, like, talking to a few guys, man, and what's going on with their church, it's like, I think money's always been a big issue in the Polynesian community. And I feel like it always starts from the top. And so if the top's not dealing well with money, then it flows down to our community, man.
Yeah,
and going back to cultural infiltrating our churches, 100%, like, it's money, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's money. And, my mate's been telling me that one of my good mates, when he's growing up in church, he said that they actually announce giving.
Wow.
Like, they actually announce the tithing and stuff. And I'm like, you sure, bro? Like, I've never heard that before. Like, he goes, yeah, man, they actually announce the tithe. Like, so, like, if your family, you're it's like, the offering, right? Like, the pastor gets up, he's like, all right, this family gave him $5,000, this family gave him... So they actually announced him the tithing, man. And I'm like, that's bringing a lot of pride, bro. Like,
Yeah,
That's not celebrity charity
Yeah,
news.
man.
yeah, man. It's like,
and what the Bible says in Matthew 6, verse 3, like, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
sorry, left hand. But man, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's
Definitely.
it's not right. So,
For listeners or people watching right now, how would you say you want to leave, you want to go? how would you do that? Like, you know, it's a fair question because you know you guys experienced it. You know, not so much Benz. Benz left for a gang. It's a different story. You know, but you leaving, you know, your the church you grew up in. You know, leaving your family's church. You know, how did you do it?
Yeah, so that my family church, it never happened in my family church, but it happened in my other family's church. So my advice would be like, man, if you want to make a stand, if you're 18, whatever, man, you gotta be bold, bro. You gotta take and show them what the Bible says about tithing and all that stuff, and obviously pray about it. I guess what do you, like? It is a hard subject to like. But I feel like making a stand, man, like you just got to make a stand because at the end of the day, your parents are not going to be in heaven holding your hand when you have to come.
The real issue is who are you making a stand for?
Yeah.
You know, if you're making a stand for God, you're going to get that blessing.
Yeah.
If you're making a stand for yourself,
100%.
it's a different story.
100%.
You know, and I think you know even you're in your family church and that, you know, man, you're still going through that same situation where what are my parents are going to think? You know, you still got that fight within you that says, I don't want to leave my parents. What are my parents going to think of me?
Yeah.
Because man, I know you and I know your family, man. You're a good guy. You come from a good family.
Yeah.
But still, that fight is still within you, right? Saying, can I just leave him? Or, you know, how did you deal with that?
Yeah, man. It was hard, man. At the start, obviously, telling my parents I'm going to leave the church and come over, you know. But we're always going to grow more. Like, where did I see myself in 10 years? Like, that's what I had to pull myself in. Like, if I'm still going to stay here, I want to be doing the same thing.
And did your parents have that understanding?
100%. You know, the reason why they had that understanding because they seen my testimony. They seen me changed. And so when they started seeing me change, they seen the way I was at home and the way I was out. Like, I wasn't at the clubs anymore, man. I wasn't drinking anymore. I was coming home sober. I was just like, I was just being a Christian, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, ought to be not perfect, but trying my best. I think once they seen that, then they started to realise, man, there's something about the Potter's house that Israel needs to go to. Like, he needs to be there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it made that decision easier because of my example. And, man, I remember going to a Bible study and someone said to me that, you know, not many people read the Bible, but they read the Bible through your exampleship, like through you.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the biggest thing, was acting out.
Your
my actions, and made the decision easier. It wasn't easy, but they seen that through me. And I'm like, man, all right, no worries.
Not anyone would, not everyone will ever come across a Bible, but you know, the only Bible they'll ever come across is you.
Is yourself.
And it's truly evident, man. They will know you by your fruit.
Yeah.
Fruit that you bear.
100%, man. So, yeah,
man. So for where do you see you know, Kingdom Hustle going in, you know, the next year?
man, obviously, we want more boys on the street. We're looking for men come on the street. So, you know, that's the whole purpose of it. And eventually, it's just like it's an outreach, man. You know, we're not just putting this stuff on social media just to, it's all about us. No, man, we're trying to encourage other believers, man, to step out in faith, go on the streets and evangelize. And also, man, if you're depressed, whatever, you're going through some stuff, you know you're living in sin, reach out. Like, it's not that hard, you know, reach out. We want to be that platform.
You know, I'm saying this because I come out with you guys.
100%.
You know, and, you know, is there a way where you think that, you know, because for me, when I go out and evangelize and that, I always try to bring them back to church as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, try to get them to that place where you know, not just say a simple prayer or you know, but you're always trying to encourage them to look, man, there's a better life for you. You know, there's better people for you.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's repentance.
And it's another way of, you know, just trying to continue, you know, just to build the kingdom, I guess.
That's right.
Right?
And you want them to make it.
Yeah, you want them to make it, not just say simple prayer and go back to their own ways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. And you're right, man. Like, you want to emphasize more on that?
Yeah, 100%. It's a turning point. It's a decision that person makes on the street that would really determine where they're going to be from the moment they leave. And I guess as for us as Kingdom Hustle, what we try and do is to cast a net, and not just cast a net and just let the net stay in the water, but to draw the net back,
Yeah.
and to follow up. Yeah. It's a hard task because
Some slip.
some slip, some there's holes in the net that some fish go like they swim away. There's guys that don't answer the phone. You know what I mean? There's guys that they say they're the yes guy, but really they're just giving you the ear, or they just want to give you the time, and they're just doing it for the sake of it. But there is genuine guys that are radically saved on the nights where we do go out, and you see them, and they're
coming back.
They're coming back, and as part of because we're both sales reps. And so, and when we find it's called a hot lead, and I love it because there's you can tell when there's a genuine one that comes back. It's a hot, it's a hot lead. It's a guy that calls you up, and he's like, man, when's church?
Yeah.
When's the next event? And I don't have to do the chasing, which is good. Is they're coming to us now, and when they DM, Izzy or the boys, because they look after the admin side of things, but they when you start getting DMs, that's when it's like, wow, there's traction. There's guys that really want to get their hearts right, and they want to just move on to the right direction to live for Jesus Christ, doing that 180 turn.
And isn't it the best feeling in the world when when you've gone out there, done the hard yards, and someone you get response.
Yeah.
And you get someone coming back, and you watching them change their life, just transition from something, from a nobody to a somebody, and it's probably one of the best joys to watch.
Yeah, in John says, I have no greater joy than my children walk in the truth. I reckon that rings true.
Yeah,
for you guys.
It's the greatest miracle, man. It is, man. When someone gets saved and you see their life play out, like
before your eyes,
bro. It's the best, man.
Yeah, it's a miracle, seeing the miracle after miracle, right?
Yeah. And all you have to do is be available, man. Just be available vessel, man. Go out there and just tell someone about Christ. All you have to say, Jesus loves you and all that, man. You never know, bro. You never know what the next Billy Graham can turn around, man, and get saved. You know what I mean? The next, whoever. You just don't know who you're gonna meet. Like the next Vu Fam, anyone. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bro. Like people actually go. I believe that people actually go to the city because they're running away from the issues, man. Going into
that's exactly right. You're trying to you're trying to alter this reality. By taking mind altering substances.
Yep.
And
filling with other things,
we've all tried that.
100%.
And the thing is, we've all failed,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And there's only one magic pill, man.
That's it.
And that's Jesus Christ.
It's Jesus, the goat.
Yep.
And in saying that, man, we're gonna wrap it up. But have you guys got anything? Any last things to say to get out there to whoever's viewing or listening?
And how can we get in contact? How can the guys, the listeners, get in contact with you guys?
Yeah, just direct message us on Instagram, Kingdom Hustle. Follow the page, and man, like it's not about just, I guess, going out there evangelizing, but seriously, in all seriousness, if you want to get your heart right for Christ, you're looking for a good church, man, I can honestly recommend one, and just direct message us. We've got men who've been through some stuff, and man, willing to obviously help you guys out. And so if you guys want to reach out, not just to come out evangelize, but if you're going through stuff, man, listen, Jesus Christ is the answer. So we want to put that out there, man. So.
And also another thing, can you show us your shirt?
Yeah, bro. Kingdom Hustle, man. That's
Kingdom Hustle.
The shirts, bro.
So can we buy them?
Yes, yes. We're working on getting some apparel out for Kingdom Hustle.
All right.
So the only use for it, I guess, is to get out and there evangelize. So
Yeah.
man, that's what we want to use
It's
it for.
not a gym brand.
It's not a gym brand. We're not
No,
doing
it's
this
not
for
a gym
ourselves.
brand,
We want to
mate.
put it out there for people to obviously wear it and encourage them to get out on the streets and evangelize.
So if you want to actually, literally get on the
gotta
KH
be-
bandwagon, that's the one.
That's it, man.
Thanks so much, Izzy and Benz.
Yeah. No, I
This-
appreciate you guys' time. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it,
Eh?
man. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Man, this has been hectic, man. The only time where you get high and sober at the same time. The Moose and Vu Sesh. Follow us on IG and all those socials. Catch us on YouTube, your favorite podcast app. The Moose and Vu Sesh signing out.
Peace.
I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet. I'ma bounce back like a ricochet.